Today is Thursday, August 20th, 2020. I am AJ Jadhav and I will be continuing my talk on Stay Out of Trouble, Part 10. I am sitting in the park here on the grass, surrounded by trees, and I am hearing the crows. It's a small party of crows sitting on the tree nearby. It's a hot day, very sunny day. So I'm trying to enter into meditation, sitting on the grass comfortably. This is a baseball ground in the park here. Nobody is around because it's a hot day. Folks are not visiting the park today, I guess. I see one man lying under the tree from the distance here. That's it. Well, in my last audio recording, I tried to explain how I can be desireless or you can be desireless. If you want to do something, for example, if you want to have a nice dinner, then you can have a nice dinner. You can start acting to fulfill the desire to have dinner and stop desiring to have a dinner. To stop desiring means stop desiring without acting or preparation. Take another example. If I want to be a rich man, I desire to be a rich man and full stop. I do not act. I do not work hard. I do not try to improve my skills to get a better job or to start new business or improve the existing business. So without efforts you cannot fulfill your desire. So if you just want to keep on desiring and dreaming in sleep, then your desire will not be fulfilled. So you have to be awake. You have to prepare yourself. If you do not prepare and keep on thinking, then you cannot achieve your goal. Do I really need to keep on desiring? Do I really need to keep on thinking? Do I need energy to keep on thinking? Do I need energy to keep on desiring? What will happen if I will stop unnecessary thinking? What will happen if I will stop repeating same thought? How I will be able to save my energy? So when you are entering into meditation, you can let senses be themselves, let your body be. Your eyes will be looking around, your ears will be hearing, your nose will be breathing, all your bodily parts are resting, they are motionless, they are not moving. And you are looking around, but you are not looking. Your eyes are looking around, and you are just there. And this is how you will start to enter into meditation. You will start to witness that you are non-body. So I watch what's going on within myself. So when thought comes, a memory comes, desire comes and pass by, I witness thoughts are coming, desires are coming, memories are coming, and they are passing by. And then there is a pause, there is a stop, there is a gap when no desire, memory, or thought is there within myself. At that time, during that pause, during the state of no desire, thoughts, memories, I regain the energy So when I sit silently, I am not wasting my energy. Therefore, I can say I am gaining it, I am regaining it. If you are getting an urge or intensive desire to see beautiful objects or beauty of nature, you are getting intense desire to go into mountains and look at those amazing mountains, rivers, redwood trees. Then you can know that this intensity is coming from your eyes. This is the desire arising from your eyes. Your eyes are desiring to go out into the mountains and behold the natural beauty lying there. Your eyes are waiting to see those giant redwood trees. If your nose wants to smell the redwood trees, then it's your nose desiring it, not you. It's your eyes desiring to go out into mountains and watch that dance of nature. Amazing mountains decorated with colorful grass, trees, plants, wild animals residing therein. So it's your eye who wants to see that cinema of natural beauty, not you. If your skin is hankering for a gentle touch, a soft touch of air flowing in the redwood forest, then it's the desire of your skin, it's not your desire. This is how you can witness your senses desiring their sense objects respectively. To witness your senses engaging into sense objects, you have to be able to enter into meditation. Entering into meditation means awaking from a sleep. So, meditative thinking, state of meditative thinking, and state of non thinking. And there are two states of thinking: state of knowing and state of unknowing, as I have explained in previous speeches. So, in the state of knowing, as I practice meditation, I will also practice the first state of thinking, which is state of knowing. So I will know what my senses are desiring. I will know what my senses wants me to do. I will know how my senses wants to engage me in their service. If my leg wants to walk, then I have to lift this body and start walking. Take another example. If my body wants to lie down on this nice grass, on this ground, cool air is flowing, it's a sunny day, I am surrounded by trees, and if my body is forcing me, desiring to lie down, then I will lie down. So, in the meditation, I will witness what my senses will be planning to do, what type of memories are arising from within, which thoughts are coming. I will witness the state of knowing, and also I will witness state of unknowing. I am sitting on the grass here, surrounded by trees. Cars are passing by, dry leaves are falling from the trees. Dry leaves on the floor are moved by the wind once in a while. So many activities are going on around me. I see very few people are here in the park. Some are walking, some are sitting under the trees. A bicyclist is coming by. And state of meditative thinking and state of non-thinking, state of silence. I am experiencing my breathing is very rhythmic, very slow, as if I am not breathing. It's happening automatically by itself. So if you want to stay out of trouble, witness your senses and their desires. Sit silently. Utilize the tool of meditative thinking. The first state of thinking, state of knowing. Do not sleep. Stay awake. Watch your thoughts. All the activities I am doing, I should do it knowingly, in the state of knowing. If I move my left hand, I should know while moving my left hand that I am moving my left hand. This is called state of knowing, the first state of thinking. Enter into meditation. Sit silently. As you go on utilizing the tool of state of knowing, then you will do each and every activity being awake. When you perform any activity being fully awake, there is no chance, or there is very less possibility of making a mistake. If you are driving your car and you are driving knowingly, you are fully awake, then there is no possibility of making any mistakes, like running over speed limit or running over red light or changing the lane without looking for other cars or other drivers. let me say that when you are driving, being fully awake, you will be able to avoid the possible accident due to the mistake of other drivers. You will be able to anticipate the mistakes of other drivers driving around you in other lanes. So, state of knowing is the best tool you can utilize in your daily life only if you practice it in daily meditation. It is very simple entering into meditation. I just found this good spot in the park, sitting under this amazing tree. Now cool air is here. I can hear some bird voices. So today the main message or experience I would like to share is witness your senses and their activities. How I will be able to witness my senses? If I am sleeping, during daytime when I look like I am awake but I am not fully awake. I am awake externally. My eyes are not closed. I am not lying in the bed. I am driving, but I am thinking about my job or about my future plans, or I am cooperating with a past memory arising in my head and I am driving same time. I will be able to drive because I am used to it due to practice of long time, but I will not be driving knowingly. I will be just driving for the sake of driving, and all these different activities going on within myself. So we are calling self to different processes, or you can say we have selected one name, self, for all other different names like soul, mind, ego, intelligence. We call all those different concepts one name, self. So when I'm driving, externally it looks I'm driving, but within the self I am identifying with a memory or dreaming about future or thinking about something happened in the job. So this state of unknowing will be not helpful. I should drive knowingly. I should drive being awake. Likewise, when I eat my lunch or dinner, I should eat knowingly, being awake. When I take bath, I should take bath knowingly, being awake. When I put on the shoes, I should do it knowingly. When I walk towards my car, I should do it knowingly. When I jog in the park, I should do it knowingly. When I sleep at night, I should sleep knowingly. So when you are in the state of knowing, you are out of trouble. There is no possibility of doing any mistake when you are in the state of knowing. So when you enter into meditation, you start witnessing your senses, their activities and desires. And you decide which desires of your senses should be fulfilled. I am not desiring, you are not desiring, my senses are desiring, your senses are desiring. It should be you who will approve the desires of your senses, and I will be able, or it must be me who should approve the desires of my senses. I have to awake myself. I have to know myself. You cannot know myself. I will be able to know myself. I cannot be able to know yourself. You will be able to know yourself. When I will enter into meditation, I will witness my senses, their desires and activities. I will witness that my body is itself and I am something else from my body. I am non-body. Food is required for my body. When my body is thirsty, it requires water or juice. Who gets angry? My body gets angry. If my body is hungry and I approve its desire to get food, and I am trying to get a food and somebody is not letting me to eat, then my body will start reacting and get angry. So who will be getting angry? My body or me? I will find that answer when I enter into meditation. When I see my body is sitting on the grass and I am non-body. When I will be able to see the difference between myself and my body, then I will be able to feel the distance from myself and my body. So anger coming out of my body will not be coming out of myself, because I will not identify myself with the body and feel that urge of anger, feel that urge of thirst, feel that urge of hunger which body is experiencing. So I would like to stop here in this part 10, staying out of trouble. I have tried to explain how I can watch my senses, and if my eyes wants to go out into mountains and see the natural beauty, then it's the desire of my eyes, it's not my desire. If my tongue wants to taste nice vanilla ice cream, then it's the desire of my tongue, it's not my desire. If my skin wants to get touched by nice breeze flowing from redwood trees, then it's my skin's desire, it's not my desire. So this is how I enter into meditation and I watch my senses and their desires. I will enter into meditation and will witness my senses and their activities. I will enter into meditation and I will see the difference between myself and my body. I hope you will enjoy entering into meditation. Thanks for listening to this audio. Enjoy your meditation. Namaste.